I'm going to welcome Jacob Hornberger to talk about his candidacy for president.
Thank you all very much. I'm Jacob Hornberger, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all at the Mississippi Libertarian Party State Convention. And it's a special honor to be here with you as a candidate for your nomination for President 2020. Why am I making this race? One simple reason. I want to be free. I want to live the life of a free man before I pass from this earth. Some of you know that for 30 years I've been advancing liberty at the Future of Freedom Foundation, which I founded in 1989, and whose mission is to present the principled case for liberty, which, and I should emphasize, does not endorse my candidacy. It's a nonprofit. But you can get a sense of the kind of work I do for liberty and what kind of candidate I would make by going to that website at fff.org and seeing how I advanced liberty. If I were accorded the honor of your nomination, I would have, one of my aims would be to have every single American across this land discussing and debating two questions. What does it mean to be free? And what is the legitimate role of government in a free society? Because I figure if people are thinking at that level, we have a shot at achieving this goal, a realistic shot of a free society. And that is our goal as a Libertarian Party. It's been the goal of this party since its inception in 1971 in David Nolan's living room. The achievement of liberty. And if people are thinking at that level, then we've got a shot. You see, because most people, or many people in life today, in American life, they're sensing that something's fundamentally wrong with America today. There's a sense of dis-ease in the country. And rightfully so. You got suicide rates that are soaring, especially among young people. What's that all about? I mean, you can understand an older person, I wouldn't agree with it, but checking out of life, he's been battered down by life. But young people, 18, 19, 20 years old, makes no sense. That's a conclusive sign that something is inherently wrong with this society, and people are sensing it. They just don't know what it is. And they think they're free. The American people reflect the words of Johann Goethe. None are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free. And that's our quest, to dispel them of that notion. Just like we all got dispelled in this room of that notion. We all thought we were free until we discovered libertarianism. And then we discovered the truth. Let me give you some examples, real-world examples of policy decisions that I would be making as your candidate if you were accorded me the honor of this. Because you have a right to know what each candidate's going to do if he's your nominee. We live in a massive welfare state system. It's a socialist system. This is what Democrats and Republicans have forced it upon our land since at least the 1930s. It is a system where government takes money from everyone and redistributes it by force to select groups of people. There is no way to reconcile this system with a free society. So it's not a personal thing with Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders. That's not the kind of campaign I would be running. I'd be running a campaign based on principles here of what we need to do to achieve a free society. The crown jewel of this socialist system is Social Security, and to a certain extent Medicare. And then there's thousands of more coercive redistributed programs. There's people in this party, in this movement, that say we need to reform Social Security. We need to acknowledge that there's this contract, and they come up with these convoluted plans where young people can opt out, but they have to continue paying taxes that fund Social Security for the next 30 years from people that are 60 to 90. And probably throw in the 50-year-olds too, because they're going to say they want to be part of that group too. In other words, freedom delayed for 40 years. Because you can't be free as long as you have this socialist program in your midst. Because socialism and freedom are opposites. You have a right to keep everything you earn, and you decide what to do with it.
Oh, yeah.
So, freedom 40 years from now holds no interest for me. None. Okay? I want to be free now. And so that necessarily means dismantling this program, abolishing it, repealing it. That doesn't scare me. Not one iota. Because you can count on young people to come forward and step up to the plate and take care of their parents and grandparents on a voluntary basis, or church groups, or community groups. You see, Social Security is this gigantic insult against young people. It's saying, you are a bad people and you need to be forced to be good and caring. Now, there's people that would say, Jacob, you're going to cost us the votes for the seniors if you're the nominee, because you're going to abolish this program. Take my word for it. No senior is going to vote for a libertarian presidential candidate anyway. You can scotch that. Well, okay. Except libertarian seniors. Sorry.
Right.
Okay. But the non-libertarian, he's not going to vote for any libertarian. Why should he? He hears all this tinkering and planning going on. He's going to go with the people that are going to guarantee his goal. But who would I go after? The people who are being fleeced by this program and insulted by this program, the young people of this country. They're the ones that are getting fleeced by it and insulted and told that they're bad people and they can't be trusted with freedom. It's the same with Medicare. We had the finest healthcare system in history before Medicare and Medicaid were adopted. And so you've got libertarians coming up with these convoluted plans, health savings accounts, that leave the socialist program intact. Anybody who thinks they're going to fix the healthcare crisis by leaving the socialist system intact is living in la-la land. It's not going to happen. It cannot happen. Socialism is an inherently defective paradigm. Ask people in Venezuela, North Korea, Vietnam, Cuba. You have to dismantle this program. Medicare, Medicaid, occupational licensure. You have to separate healthcare and the state to achieve a free society and a healthy society and to restore health to our healthcare system. And so we have to make the case for liberty if we want our fellow Americans to achieve that free society. Making the case for reform accomplishes nothing. If all that we do as libertarians is end up reforming the welfare state way of life or the warfare state of life, we have achieved nothing with respect to liberty. Nothing. Imagine you're in 1850 Mississippi and you've got a group of libertarians that says slavery is here forever. It's permanent. It's in the Constitution. It's done. Let's just make peace with it and pass laws that provide for slavery reform. Fewer lashings, better health care, shorter work week. I would be there saying no, because that's not freedom. Freedom entails a dismantling of slavery, just like it entails a dismantling of serfdom. Drugs. You got to get rid of all drug laws, not just marijuana, to live in a free society. Because freedom means you have a right to ingest whatever you want to ingest, no matter how harmful or destructive it is. Not only has this proven to be a deadly and destructive government program, it is the most racially bigoted government program since segregation. And some of you may know I'm waging a very active campaign in North Carolina. Come to my website at jacobforliberty.com and you'll see that I'm waging a very active campaign outside the party. I'm trying to win our party's primary on Super Tuesday there. We're in the primary system in North Carolina. And I'm targeting African Americans there with the signature position of the drug war. And I'm making some headway. These are non-libertarians. I mean, I love preaching to the choir. Don't get me wrong. But I'm out there with non-libertarians. And if you'll notice the article I put on all your desks, that's an African American reporter for a black newspaper in Raleigh called the Carolinian that says he says, I'm to the left of Barack Obama and I'm seriously considering voting for Jacob Hornberger on Super Tuesday. And he's exhorting his readers to do the same. Immigration. You know, I mean, probably the most controversial position in our party. I grew up with this system. It's a socialist system. It's based on central planning. And it's brought into existence a police state in the American Southwest. If you never traveled down there, you haven't had the experience of highway checkpoints, warrantless searches of farms and ranches along the border, including the farm I grew up on, the Rio Grande. We had Border Patrol coming in whenever they wanted, without a warrant. You've got criminalizing people for helping illegal immigrants or hiring illegal immigrants. You've got this Berlin Wall that President Trump wants to build. After Congress has specifically disapproved him, you've got this dictatorial conduct up there where he's using a Pentagon slush fund to accomplish what Congress said no. That's the police state we've got. Eminent domain, stealing people's farms along the border. There's only one solution to this. And it's a, you know, you often hear that, hey, libertarians are not practical. Are you kidding me? We are the only practical philosophy. There is one solution to the immigration crisis, and that's open borders. Nothing else is going to work. Nothing else is going to work. And that is just getting rid of this socialist system, getting rid of the police state, free movements of people, unilateral free trade, and open immigration. Nothing else is going to work. And finally, you've got the national security state and their forever wars. Now, it is not controversial in this party among all the presidential candidates bringing the troops home. Standard position. We all agree on that. Okay? You can set it aside. I would go further. I'd bring them home from everywhere. Korea, Europe, Africa, Latin America. Bring them all home and discharge them. They're not necessary. And then go even further. Dismantle the whole national security state. The Pentagon, the military-industrial complex, the CIA, the NSA. This is a totalitarian form of governmental structure. Our nation was founded as a limited government republic, which means the absence of those things. We have a right to the restoration of our limited government republic, and that's what I stand for. Now, keep in mind that we are libertarians. We are not Republican lights. We are not Democrat lights. We are not socially liberal and economically conservative. We are libertarians, and we need to fight as libertarians. These are our weapons. These are our swords and our shields as we head into this battle. They have the money, Democrats and Republicans. They have the power. Enough power to keep us off the ballot in several states because they're scared to death of the competition. But we have what they don't have. We have ideals, we have principles, and we have sound ideas on liberty, and I'll take them over all the money and power in the world. If we adhere to our principles, we are the party of principle. This is a good thing. Our principles are our biggest asset. Not only morally speaking, but practically speaking. These are the solutions to the crises and woes that afflict this nation, and that have been forced on us by both Democrats and Republicans. If we adhere to our principles, I think we have the greatest opportunity in the 29-year history of this party to do some serious open field running in this campaign. I think people are sensing something's wrong, and we know what's wrong. And if we adhere to principle, I think this party has the greatest chance in its entire history, in this presidential race, to lead this country to the freest, most prosperous, most peaceful, harmonious society in history. Thank you very much.